The gentle hum of my rolling suitcase echoes down the quiet hallway as I unlock the front door of our downtown Chicago condo. I step inside, smiling at the thought of surprising my fiancé Ethan Hayes, 3 days early from my grueling real estate trip. "Ethan?" I call out, dropping my keys onto the marble entryway table. "Are you home?" Silence greets me. The apartment is quiet, smelling faintly of expensive cologne and takeout food. I roll my suitcase into our master bedroom, setting it near the closet. Before I change into comfortable clothes, my instincts push me toward the built-in wall mirror where our heavy digital safe hides. I want to check on my custom-designed platinum wedding ring. The band features my late mother's rare 4-carat emerald-cut diamond, and we were supposed to pick up the finalized setting from the jeweler next week. I tap my 6-digit pin into the keypad. The electronic lock clicks open. I pull the heavy metal door back and reach for the velvet presentation box. It is gone. The velvet lining inside the tray is completely empty. Panic spikes through my chest like a cold blade. I pull out every velvet box, every document, and every watch case. Nothing. The diamond is gone. "Looking for something, Clara?" Ethan's voice suddenly breaks the quiet. I spin around, my heart pounding against my ribs. Ethan stands in the bedroom doorway, wearing a crisp dress shirt with his sleeves rolled up, holding a glass of iced water. "Ethan." I gasp, pointing directly at the open safe. "Where is my wedding ring? Where is my mother's diamond?" Ethan blinks rapidly, swallowing hard before taking a slow sip of his water. "Oh, you're home early. I thought your meetings in Dallas ran through Friday. Answer my question right now," I demand, stepping toward him, my hands trembling with rising anger. "The safe was locked. The ring box is empty. Did someone break in here?" No. Nobody broke in, Clara, calm down," Ethan stammers, shifting his weight nervously from foot to foot. "Just take a deep breath, okay? The ring is perfectly safe." "Safe where?" I ask, staring straight into his guilty blue eyes. "Where did you put it?" I borrowed it," Ethan says softly, avoiding my gaze as he looks down at his glass. "You borrowed my wedding ring?" I repeat, my voice dropping into disbelieving horror. "Ethan, that diamond belonged to my late mother. It's an irreplaceable heirloom. Why on earth would you touch it without asking me?" "It's not a big deal, Clara," Ethan says defensively, raising his hands in a placating gesture. "I just needed it for a few days." "Needed it for what?" I shout, the frustration boiling over inside me. "You don't wear women's platinum diamond rings, Ethan." "Who has my ring?" Ethan sighs loudly, running a hand through his neatly styled hair, looking irritated that I'm pressing the issue. "If you must know, I lent it to Chloe." I freeze, the air completely rushing out of my lungs. "Chloe Bennett? Your 24-year-old associate at the firm?" "Yes, Chloe." Ethan snaps, stepping past me into the room. "She had a massive high-stakes dinner meeting last night with those billionaire real estate developers from New York. You know how judgy those investors are. Chloe was super stressed about not looking successful enough to fit in with them." "Are you completely insane?" I whisper, staring at him in utter disbelief. "You gave my mother's rare diamond ring to your junior coworker so she could play dress-up at a business dinner?" "She didn't play dress-up, Clara. She needed an impressive accessory to project wealth and status," Ethan argues, his tone turning sharp and condescending. "Chloe was practically in tears in my office yesterday morning. She was terrified they wouldn't take her seriously. I was just being a supportive senior mentor." "By giving her my custom wedding ring?" I yell, tears of pure rage stinging the corners of my eyes. "That ring was crafted specifically for our wedding next month. It holds the only physical piece of my mother I have left. You had zero right to take it out of that safe." "Why are you making such a dramatic scene over a piece of metal?" Ethan sneers, crossing his arms over his chest. "Chloe promised she would take extreme care of it. She's keeping it in her purse until her follow-up breakfast meeting tomorrow morning." "I don't care about her breakfast meeting," I shout, stepping directly into his personal space. "Call Chloe on her phone right now and tell her I am coming to pick up my ring tonight." "I am not going to do that, Clara," Ethan yells back, glaring down at me. "I am not going to embarrass a young professional woman and ruin her confidence just to satisfy your hysterical jealousy." "Jealousy?" I laugh bitterly, shaking my head as my blood runs ice cold. "This isn't jealousy, Ethan. This is theft." "It's not theft, you heartless, insecure woman," Ethan shouts, his face flushing bright red with anger. "You are so completely obsessed with material objects and status. You have dozens of expensive pieces of jewelry, Clara, while Chloe is working 70 hours a week trying to build a career from nothing. Can't you show a single ounce of empathy for once in your life? She has my mother's diamond, Ethan, I say, my voice dropping into a razor-sharp whisper as I look at my fiancé of 3 years. Get it back or you will regret this. Stop threatening me, Ethan scoffs, turning his back on me. You'll get your stupid ring back when Chloe is finished with her meetings. Now drop it. I pull my smartphone out of my coat pocket, my hands shaking so violently I can barely swipe the screen. What are you doing now, Clara? Ethan sighs loudly, walking over to the bedroom bar cart to pour himself a fresh glass of scotch. Are you calling your brother to complain about me again? I am opening Chloe Bennett's public social media page, I state, my thumb tapping frantically against the glass screen. Oh, for heaven's sake, stop stalking her. Ethan scoffs, swirling the dark amber liquid in his crystal glass. She's 24 years old. She lives on social media. Leave the poor girl alone. Her account is public, Ethan, I say, my breath hitching in my throat as her profile grid loads. Right at the top of her page sits a brand new carousel post, published less than 2 hours ago from a 5-star hotel lounge in downtown Chicago. I tap the first image. My blood turns to literal ice in my veins. It is an ultra close-up photo of a woman's manicured hand resting against a crystal champagne flute. Wrapped snugly around her ring finger is my custom platinum band, the rare 4-carat emerald-cut diamond catching the warm ambient restaurant lights. Look at this, Ethan, I say, my voice dropping into an eerily calm register as I hold the glowing screen right in front of his face. Look at what your innocent little junior associate posted. Ethan glances at the screen, his smug expression wavering for a fraction of a second before he takes a slow sip of scotch. So what? She took a nice photo at dinner. It's good branding for her real estate portfolio. Swipe to the second picture, Ethan, I order, my thumb flicking the screen. The second photo is a mirror selfie of Chloe smiling coyly into her phone, her left hand intentionally raised high near her collarbone, forcing the blinding 4-carat ring directly into the center of the frame. Below the photos, the caption reads, "When your secret dream man knows you deserve nothing less than true high luxury. He told me I was born to shine, so he gave me the ring of my dreams. Forever grateful for my protector." A secret dream man? I ask, my eyes burning as I stare at my fiancée. She captioned my mother's heirloom ring with a romantic post about her dream man buying her luxury. It's just engagement bait, Clara? Ethan argues, throwing his hands up in frustration. You don't understand how social media marketing works for young professionals. She's creating an aspirational persona to attract high-net-worth real estate clients. She is wearing my custom wedding ring on her left ring finger. I shout, my self-control snapping like drywood. She is publicly implying that my fiancé bought her an engagement ring. She never used my name in the caption. Ethan yells back, setting his glass down onto the nightstand with a heavy thud. You are twisting a completely harmless marketing strategy into some sick personal attack. Chloe is trying to build a career, and you're throwing an insane temper tantrum because she took a couple of aesthetic photos. Harmless. I whisper, looking at the man I was supposed to marry in 30 days. My mother died 3 years ago, Ethan. That diamond was the last thing she handed to me before she passed away in the hospital. You took it out of my safe and gave it to a woman who uses it as clout on the internet. You are so exhausting, Clara. Ethan sneers, rolling his eyes as he steps past me toward the bathroom. Always making everything about your feelings and your tragic family history. I made an executive call to help a valued colleague. If you can't handle being with a generous, successful man who helps others, then maybe you need to reevaluate your priorities. He slams the bathroom door shut, turning on the loud shower faucet to drown out my voice. I stand frozen in the middle of the master bedroom, staring at the closed bathroom door. The sharp, suffocating pain in my chest suddenly vanishes, replaced by a cold, crystal-clear realization. Ethan does not love me. He never respected me, my family, or my boundaries. He viewed my success, my money, and my late mother's legacy as assets for him to exploit to boost his own pathetic ego. I slowly look around the high-ceilinged, white marble master bedroom. This luxury downtown condo costs $12,000 a month in mortgage and HOA fees. 2 years ago, when Ethan's independent consulting firm went under, he defaulted on his portion of the initial down payment. To save the deal, I paid the entire 60% cash deposit out of my personal investment accounts. Because he couldn't qualify for the loan on his own, I forced him to execute a legal quitclaim agreement and a full power of attorney clause. In the eyes of the bank, Ethan is a co-borrower, but legally, I hold absolute, sole power of attorney over the deed, the title, and the liquidation rights of this entire unit if our engagement breaks down. He thinks he lives in a trophy condo that proves his high society status. He thinks he can walk over me, give away my inheritance, and hide behind his arrogance. I look down at my phone, pulling up my contact list, and tap on my brother Marcus's name. Marcus. I say as soon as he answers on the first ring. I need you to pull up the master power of attorney documents for the condo right now. I'm selling it. The morning sun cuts through the glass windows of the high-rise law office, casting long shadows across the polished oak conference table. I sit across from my younger brother, Marcus Vance, who is rapidly scanning through a thick folder of financial deeds. Take a look at Section 4, Clara, Marcus says, turning the document toward me and tapping his pen against the page. Ethan really backed himself into a legal corner when he failed to cover his half of the deposit 2 years ago. I paid the entire $200,000 balance out of my personal savings, I say, leaning forward. Does the quitclaim contract still hold absolute validity? It's completely ironclad, Marcus answers with a sharp smile. When Ethan signed this agreement, he granted you irrevocable, sole power of attorney over the deed, title, and liquidation rights of the condo. If the relationship dissolves or if he defaults on maintenance fees, you have the full legal right to sell the property without his permission. And he has no idea, I say softly, adjusting my coat. He thinks his name on the front page protects him. That's his arrogance blinding him, Marcus scoffs, shutting the folder with a light thud. In the eyes of the city registrar, you are the exclusive manager of this asset. But listen to me, Clara. You have to act quietly. If Ethan catches wind of this, he might try to file a fraudulent stay order in civil court just to drag this out. I won't let him drag anything out, I reply, my voice dripping with cold determination. He's currently at his office showing off Chloe, completely convinced I'm home crying over my mother's stolen diamond ring. Before Marcus can respond, my phone vibrates aggressively on the table. The screen flashes with the name Victoria Sterling, my firm's wealthiest commercial client and a woman who controls major real estate funds across the Midwest. Take it, Marcus whispers, gesturing toward the phone. Victoria, I answer, placing the receiver to my ear. Good morning. Clara, darling, I need a massive favor, Victoria speaks rapidly, her tone urgent and decisive. My daughter is relocating to Chicago next week for her residency, and the private penthouse unit we were under contract for just fell through. What happened? I ask, standing up from my chair. The seller backed out at the closing table. Victoria sighs loudly over the line. I am looking for a high-end, fully renovated downtown unit with skyline views right now. I have $2.5 million in liquid cash ready to wire today. Do you have anything on your private registry that matches? I freeze, my eyes locking onto the deed folder resting in front of Marcus. The exact square footage, the high floor, and the luxury layout of Ethan's condo flash through my mind. Victoria, I say, my voice steady and completely composed. I have the exact property you are looking for. It's a luxury high-rise unit in the heart of downtown, fully upgraded, with floor-to-ceiling glass balconies. Is it available for immediate possession? Victoria asks eagerly. No drawn-out escrow periods, no mortgage contingencies? Zero contingencies, I answer, looking directly at my brother. I hold sole power of attorney over the liquidation rights. We can execute an emergency direct cash transfer and transfer title within 48 hours. Darling, you are a lifesaver. Victoria exclaims with delight. Send the purchase agreement to my legal team right now. If the title is clean, I'll sign the closing contracts and wire the full funds before 5 o'clock today. The title is completely clear, Victoria, I assure her. I will have my attorney email the purchase contract within the hour. I disconnect the call and look across the table at Marcus, whose jaw is slightly dropped in shock. Did you just sell Ethan's condo to Victoria Sterling in less than 2 minutes? Marcus asks, a slow, astonished smile spreading across his face. Victoria wants an immediate cash purchase for her daughter, I say, picking up my pen. Draft the emergency purchase agreement, Marcus. I want Victoria's legal team to sign it before noon. Clara, this is going to obliterate him, Marcus warns, though his eyes spark with sharp professional excitement. When the transfer clears, the city sheriff will issue an immediate notice of vacate. Ethan will literally have no legal right to step foot inside that apartment. He used my mother's heirloom diamond as clout for his junior associate, I say, leaning over the desk to sign the power of attorney authorization line. He wanted to project high luxury to the world. Now he can do it from the street. What about the stolen ring? Marcus asks, taking the signed document from my hand. Are we filing criminal charges for theft? We file the civil conversion suit the moment the sale goes public, I answer, pulling my gloves back on. Chloe Bennett wants to wear a 4-carat emerald-cut diamond on social media? She can explain where she got it to a process server in front of her entire office. I'm emailing Victoria's attorneys right now, Marcus says, his fingers flying across his keyboard. The contract will be locked in before Ethan even finishes his lunch break. Thank you, Marcus, I say, stepping toward the glass doors of his office. I'm going to coordinate the private moving crew for tomorrow morning. Where are you going now? Marcus calls out. To pack up my mother's remaining belongings from the master suite, I reply without looking back. Before Ethan realizes he doesn't have a home anymore. The quiet whir of the private moving crew's packing tape echoes through the hollow living room. Outside the floor-to-ceiling glass windows, the evening Chicago skyline glimmers in brilliant gold. Is this the last of the master suite furniture, Ms. Vance? The moving crew supervisor asks, holding a digital clipboard. Yes, everything in the master bedroom, the dining set, and the artwork in the foyer goes into storage, I answer, checking my watch. It is 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. Right now, Ethan is busy celebrating at a rooftop lounge 3 blocks away, buying expensive rounds of champagne for Chloe Bennett and their architectural firm colleagues. He has no idea that while he drinks, his life is being dismantled piece by piece. My phone rings, displaying Victoria Sterling's legal representative, Mr. Harrison. Clara, Mr. Harrison's crisp voice fills my speaker. The county registrar just finalized the expedited title transfer. Victoria's full $2.5 million cash payment has cleared escrow. And the funds have hit my corporate holding account? I ask, stepping past rolled-up rugs. Every single cent, Mr. Harrison confirms. Because your power of attorney and quitclaim default clauses were completely validated, the title transferred cleanly to Victoria's family trust. You are officially no longer the owner of record, and Ethan Hayes has zero legal claim to the premises. Thank you, Mr. Harrison, I say, a cold surge of satisfaction settling in my chest. Please inform Victoria that her daughter can take full key possession tomorrow evening. Will do, Clara. Excellent doing business with you. I disconnect the call and immediately open my mobile banking portal on my phone. With a few quick taps, I route the full liquidation proceeds into my private individual holding account. I also transfer the $12,000 remaining in our joint wedding fund. Money Ethan had been slowly draining to pay for his lavish dinners and Chloe's luxury client gifts. Clara, my brother Marcus says, stepping into the empty hallway carrying a stamped legal folder. The emergency civil court filing just went through. Did the judge sign off on the conversion injunction? I ask, looking up from my phone screen. Signed, sealed, and stamped, Marcus smiles, pulling out a crisp white document. We have an official legal summons for Chloe Bennett for the unlawful conversion and theft of a 4-carat heirloom diamond. The court is ordering her to surrender the physical ring to a court officer within 24 hours or face immediate grand larceny charges. And the eviction notice for Ethan? I ask. Marcus pulls out a secondary bright neon yellow legal order. Right here. An official 24-hour sheriff's notice to vacate. Since the title officially belongs to Victoria's trust now, Ethan is legally considered an unauthorized squatter. Is the sheriff department scheduled for tomorrow afternoon? Precisely at 5 o'clock, Marcus confirms, setting the yellow document on the small folding table we set up in the empty living room. Right when Ethan plans to bring his little party back here after work. Perfect, I say, looking around the barren apartment. The custom leather couches are gone. The marble coffee tables are gone. The wine racks are cleared. Only 4 folding chairs and a single table remain on the hardwood floor. Are you sure you want to sit here alone until tomorrow? Marcus asks gently, looking at me with concern. You could stay at my place tonight. I'm not staying here tonight, Marcus, I reply, pulling on my wool coat. Victoria's moving crew will finish clearing out the remaining light fixtures in 20 minutes. I already booked a suite at the Drake Hotel down the street. What about Ethan? Marcus asks, raising an eyebrow. What happens when he comes back home tonight drunk from the lounge? He won't come back here tonight, I laugh dryly, buttoning my coat. Chloe posted another video on her story half an hour ago. Ethan paid for a luxury suite at the boutique hotel next to their office so their group could continue drinking after the lounge closes. He won't step foot in this building until tomorrow evening. He really has no clue, does he? Marcus shakes his head in utter disbelief. He thinks he's returning to a luxury penthouse filled with your money. He's returning to an empty box, I say coldly. And a process server. Do you want me here at 4:30 tomorrow? Marcus asks, adjusting his briefcase. Make it 4 o'clock, I instruct him. I want the sheriff deputies lined up in the hallway before Ethan and Chloe step out of the elevator. Consider it handled, Marcus says, giving my arm a firm, supportive squeeze. Get some rest tonight, Clara. Tomorrow is going to be historic. I've never slept better in my life, Marcus, I answer honestly. As the movers load the last crate onto the freight elevator, I walk back to the center of the vast, empty living room. I look out at the twinkling lights of Chicago, feeling the last lingering remnants of my heartbreak vanish into the night air. For 3 years I carried Ethan on my back. I financed his lifestyle, protected his ego, paid his debts, and gave him unconditional trust. In return, he took my late mother's memory, handed it to an arrogant coworker, and called me heartless when I demanded respect. He thought my kindness was weakness. He thought my quiet patience meant I would never fight back. I reached down and tapped the bright yellow notice to vacate resting on the folding table, ensuring the official state seal is clearly visible under the overhead light. I pull my gloves on, grab my handbag, and walk out the front door, leaving the empty shell of his arrogance behind. The heavy elevator doors ding open on the top floor and loud, drunken laughter echoes down the private hallway. I sit calmly at the folding table watching the foyer entrance. Come on in, guys. Ethan's voice rings out, booming with proud confidence. Welcome to my penthouse suite. Drop your coats anywhere. Ethan walks through the double doors, arm in arm with Chloe Bennett, followed by 4 junior architects from his firm holding open wine bottles. Ethan stops dead in his tracks. His smile vanishes completely as his eyes scan the vast, echoing, completely empty hardwood floor. What is this? Ethan stammers, his face turning pale. Where is all the furniture? Ethan? Chloe asks, her voice pitching upward in panic as she grips his arm. Why is your apartment completely empty? Are we getting robbed? I stand up slowly from the folding table, smoothing down my tailored blazer. I look directly into Ethan's wide, terrified eyes. You aren't being robbed, Ethan, I say clearly, my voice cutting through the silent room. You're being evicted. Clara? Ethan shouts, stepping forward in sheer disbelief, his face flushing dark red. What the hell are you doing here? Where is our furniture? What is the meaning of this sick joke? It's not a joke, I reply coldly, gesturing toward the 2 uniformed sheriff deputies standing beside my brother Marcus. Meet Officer Davis and Officer Miller. They're here to oversee your permanent removal from this property. You're out of your absolute mind. Ethan screeches, pointing a shaking finger at me while his architectural colleagues stare in stunned silence near the doorway. This is my home. My name is on the deed. You can't just kick me out. Actually, Ethan, she can, Marcus speaks up, stepping forward with a leather portfolio in hand. Marcus pulls out the official county title transfer document and holds it out for the stunned crowd to see. As of yesterday afternoon, this property was legally sold to a private family trust. The deed has been officially transferred. Sold? Ethan gasps, grabbing his head with both hands as his knees buckle slightly. Sold to who? You can't sell my condo without my consent. You signed away your sole liquidation rights 2 years ago when you defaulted on the initial down payment, Marcus explains smoothly, tapping the signature line at the bottom of the quitclaim contract. Clara held absolute power of attorney. The sale is completely final, and the cash proceeds have already been wired into her private account to recover the funds you drained. No, this is fake. You forged these papers. Ethan screams, lunging forward before Officer Davis steps directly into his path, resting a firm hand on his holstered utility belt. Step back, sir, Officer Davis warns in a deep, authoritative tone. Do not make this harder than it already is. Ethan, what is going on? Chloe cries out from the back of the group, her voice trembling as she clutches her handbag tightly against her chest. Why is he losing his mind? Make these cops leave. I turn my gaze slowly toward Chloe, locking eyes with her. Before you panic about him, Chloe, you should worry about yourself. Me? Chloe scoffs nervously, offering a fake, shaky laugh as she looks around at her co-workers. What could possibly have to do with me? I just came here for drinks. You're wearing stolen property, Chloe, I state sharply. I am not wearing anything stolen. Chloe snaps defensively, instinctively hiding her left hand behind her back. You're just a bitter, jealous ex-fiancé trying to ruin my night. Is that why you posted pictures of my late mother's 4-carat emerald-cut diamond ring all over social media? I ask, stepping closer to her. Hand over the ring right now, Chloe. Or things are going to get much worse for your career. I don't have to give you anything. Chloe shrieks, tears of absolute rage springing to her eyes. Ethan told me I could wear it. He said it was a gift. I never said it was a gift. Ethan yells desperately over his shoulder, glaring at Chloe in sudden panic. I just told you to borrow it for one night. Why didn't you give it back to me? Because you said I deserved it. Chloe screams back, her voice cracking as the entire office staff watches in stunned horror. You said your fiancé was a cold control freak who didn't appreciate you. Quiet, both of you, Marcus interrupts, stepping directly in front of a trembling Chloe. He pulls a crisp white legal document from his briefcase and hands it straight to her chest. Chloe Bennett, you are hereby formally served with a civil court summons for the unlawful conversion, theft and misappropriation of a multi-thousand-dollar heirloom diamond. Chloe stares down at the court summons, her face draining of all color. Grand larceny? You're suing me? If you don't surrender that ring to the court bailiff within 24 hours, the grand larceny charges become criminal felonies, Marcus says coldly. Your real estate license will be permanently revoked before the end of the week. Chloe lets out a loud, hysterical sob, ripping the 4-carat diamond ring off her finger and throwing it violently across the empty hardwood floor. It bounces with a sharp metallic clatter before rolling to a stop near my shoe. I bend down calmly, pick up my mother's ring and slide it securely back onto my own left ring finger where it belongs. And as for you, Ethan, I say, turning back to my former fiancé, who is now shaking uncontrollably as he leans against the bare concrete wall. Here is your official 24-hour notice to vacate, alongside a breach of contract lawsuit for the thousands you drained from our joint accounts. Claire, please, Ethan whispers, his voice cracking as tears spill down his cheeks. He slides down the wall until he is sitting flat on the empty floor, looking utterly defeated. Please don't do this. We can fix this. We can talk about our wedding. Our wedding was cancelled the moment you handed my mother's memory to another woman, I reply softly, looking down at him without a single ounce of pity. You're heartless. Ethan chokes out, sobbing openly in front of his peers. You ruined my entire life over a piece of jewelry. No, Ethan, I say, turning toward the elevator doors with my head held high. You ruined your own life the moment you thought my kindness was weakness. Officer Davis and Officer Miller step forward, grabbing Ethan by his shoulders and hauling him to his feet as he continues to weep. Marcus follows closely behind me carrying our paperwork. As the elevator doors slide open, I take one last look back at the empty penthouse. The illusion of Ethan's high society life is completely gone, leaving only the cold, hard reality of his own betrayal. I step inside the elevator, the heavy diamond ring resting warm and secure against my finger, ready to claim the bright, independent future I built entirely on my own terms. The bright morning sun reflects off the vast glass windows of my new high-rise office in downtown Chicago, casting a warm golden glow across the polished marble floor. I stand on the open glass balcony, holding a fresh cup of dark roast coffee, looking out over the sparkling city skyline. The sliding glass door glides open smoothly behind me. My younger brother, Marcus Vance, steps out onto the terrace wearing a dark navy-tailored suit, holding his legal tablet and a fresh stack of court filings. Good morning, Clara, Marcus says with a bright, satisfied smile, leaning against the sleek chrome railing right next to me. You look remarkably serene for someone managing 3 major real estate acquisitions today. I haven't felt this kind of true peace in my entire life, Marcus, I answer, taking a slow sip of my coffee. How did the morning court updates look? The judge officially finalized the civil judgment against Ethan an hour ago, Marcus replies, tapping his tablet screen. He is legally mandated to repay the full $45,000 he secretly drained from your joint wedding account over the past year, plus interest and legal fees. How is he handling his new financial reality? I ask, my voice completely devoid of any bitterness. He moved into a tiny, damp basement apartment 3 blocks outside the city center, Marcus scoffs dryly. Without your credit line, his personal accounts completely collapsed under his high-end store debts. He's currently working double shifts as an entry-level draftsman just to make his basic court payments. And what about Chloe Bennett? Her professional reputation in Chicago real estate is entirely destroyed, Marcus states, showing me an official memo on his screen. When David Miller at her architecture firm uncovered the court summons for stolen property, He fired her on the spot for gross ethical violations. No firm in the Midwest will touch her resume. They brought every bit of that karma on themselves, I say softly, looking back toward the shining skyscrapers. They built their lives on arrogance, vanity, and theft, so it was only a matter of time before their foundation shattered into pieces. You handled the entire situation with absolute perfection, Clara, Marcus says proudly, placing a firm, supportive hand on my shoulder. Mom would be so proud of how you stood up for her memory and protected your dignity. The balcony sliding door opens again, and Victoria Sterling steps out onto the terrace. She looks stunning in a crisp burgundy power suit, holding an executive leather binder against her arm, her face beaming with pure excitement. Clara. Marcus. Victoria calls out warmly, stepping toward us. I hope I'm not interrupting your morning check-in. Not at all, Victoria, I reply with a warm smile, turning to greet her. Is the board ready for our regional sales presentation? Ready? Victoria chuckles, shaking her head. Clara darling, the entire board is practically buzzing in the conference room. The official third quarter real estate quarterly report just went public 30 minutes ago. How are the numbers looking? I ask, my heart beating with steady, quiet confidence. Your independent brokerage just shattered the regional sales record for commercial acquisitions. Victoria reveals, holding out a printed financial chart. Over $70 million in closed transactions in a single month. The board unanimously voted to appoint your firm as the exclusive broker for our national commercial expansion. 70 million? Marcus asks, his eyes widening as he inspects the financial figures on the page. That is incredible, Victoria. It isn't just incredible, Marcus, Victoria corrects with deep professional respect, looking straight into my eyes. It is the direct result of putting a brilliant, fearless woman in full control of her own destiny. Clara built this business strategy from scratch. She earned every single bit of this triumph. Thank you, Victoria, I say, a genuine radiant smile spreading across my face. That means more to me than you know. The press team is waiting downstairs to take the official cover photos for the Chicago Business Journal, Victoria says, gesturing toward the interior office suite. Are you ready to step into the spotlight as the top broker in the city, Clara? Give me just 1 minute, Victoria, I answer gently. I'll be right inside. Take all the time you need, darling, Victoria smiles, turning back toward the glass doors with Marcus beside her. I step up to the very edge of the balcony, resting my hand against the cool metal railing. I look down at my left hand. Wrapped around my finger is my late mother's rare 4-carat emerald-cut diamond, sparkling brilliantly under the warm Chicago sun. 1 month ago, I returned home from a business trip to find my heirloom stolen, my trust betrayed, and my fiancé treating my dignity like trash. Ethan thought he could break my spirit, steal my inheritance, and force me to stay silent while he handed my mother's memory away for cheap social media clout. He thought I was weak. He thought my patience meant I would accept his cruelty. He had no idea that his betrayal would become the exact spark that set me free. I take a deep, clear breath of the fresh morning air, feeling the cool breeze fill my lungs. The lingering pain of heartbreak is completely gone, replaced by an unshakable sense of self-respect, financial independence, and complete inner strength. I set my coffee cup down on the bistro table, turn around and button my tailored blazer. I walk through the open glass doors into the sunlit office, stepping forward to claim my unstoppable future on my own terms.